In Java, if you want to open a file for reading or writing, you have to do that through a stream. If you want to open a file for writing, as an example, then you have to create an object of output stream and link it with this file. And if you want to open a file for reading, then you have to create an object of input stream and link it with this file. Before we proceed and show you how to open files for reading and writing, you have to know that every input file and every output file used by your program has two names. First is the real file name that is used by the operating system, and this is the one that you deal with when you save your file and you save it on your folders on your computer. And the second name is of the name of the stream that is connected to the file. As we mentioned that whenever you want to deal with a file in your program, you have to connect it to a stream. Then this stream must have a name. This name will be a representative to the name of the file that you have saved on your computer. In this case, the stream name serves as a temporary name for the file in your program. And this is the name that is primarily used within your program. So whenever you want to read from a file or write into a file, then you have to use the name that you have created in your program. After you connect the file to the stream, your program always refers to the file by using the stream name. So we have two names: the operating system name, that is the one that you use when you save your file, and we have the stream name. So let us start. When we say creating a file, it means opening the file for writing. So we have two cases: either the file exists or the file does not exist. If the file exists, then it will be deleted and it will be made empty and ready for writing. And if it does not exist, then it will be created and it will be open for writing. So to create a file, you need to follow 3 steps. The first step is that you have to open it for writing. And since you are going to create an output file, because you are going to open it for writing, then you need to link it with an output stream. And one of the output streams that is used for opening a text file for writing is the print writer. The print writer is in fact the name of the output stream class. And this is how we are creating an object from this class. To create the object, we are supplying the file name that is used by the operating system as an input parameter to the constructor. And when the file is opened successfully without any errors, then outFile will be used as the stream name for the output file name.txt. If you remember, we said that we have two names for a file. We have a program name and we have the operating system name. OutFile will be the program name and file name.txt will be the operating system name. Now for any operation you want to make on this file in your program, then you have to use the program file which is called outFile. To create an output stream using a print writer, you have to import its definition from java.input-output package. So you write import java.input-output. So instead of only bringing the definition for print writer, you can bring or import all class definitions inside java.io by writing star. Also, you have to catch a special type of exception called find not found exception. So you have to include this statement inside the try and catch a block. And you have to catch the exception find not found exception. And here I would like to make a small comment about find not found exception. You know that when we open a file for writing, either the file exists or does not exist, as we have mentioned before. Now, if the file does not exist, does it mean that the opening will raise a find not found exception? The answer is no. So if the constructor throws an exception, it does not necessarily mean that the file was not found. After all, if you are creating a new file, it does not already exist. In that case, an exception would mean that the file could not be created because for some reasons, for example, the file name was already being used for a folder which is a directory name. After opening the file successfully for writing in step 1, in step 2, we write into the file. To write into the file, it is exactly the same way that when you print on the output screen using println and print. But the difference is that for printing on the screen, we use system.out output stream, but now here we use the file output stream. Since the name of the output stream we have created in step 1 is called outFile, so we use a println and a print for outFile. So if you want to write text into the file, you write the name of the output stream followed by dot, followed by println or print methods. And the use of a println and a print methods are exactly the same way that you have used them with system.out. So if you want to write a line of text and you want to go to the next line, then you use a println. And if you want to write a text and you want to stay on the same line, then you use a print. The difference is that with system.out, the text will be printed on the output screen, but with the file output stream, the text is saved into the file. Notice that what we are saving into the file are in fact strings. And you know how strings are represented inside the memory. Each character is represented by its corresponding ASCII code. So therefore, if we want to save the word hello, we are going to save it with 5 bytes. Each byte will be the corresponding ASCII code of each letter of the word hello. So the first byte will be equal to 48 in hexadecimal, which corresponds to the ASCII code of the capital letter H. And the second byte will be equal to 65 in hexadecimal, which corresponds to the ASCII code of the small letter E, and so on for the rest of the characters. And that's why the file is called text file, because what we write inside is in fact everything represented by an ASCII code, so that when we open it by a text editor, it is easy for a human to read the text inside the file. What you need to understand is that writing a number as a string into the file when it is enclosed between double quotation is not the same as writing the number in binary. For example, suppose you want to write the student ID 20103478 into a text file. Since the number is represented as a string, then each digit will be represented by the corresponding ASCII code. So 2 will be saved into the file as the ASCII code 32, which is in hexadecimal, and 0 will be saved into the file as an ASCII code 30 in hexadecimal, and so on. So since we have 8 digits, then we are going to save 8 bytes into the file. So it depends on the size of the number. If it is 3 digits, then 3 bytes will be saved into the file. And if it is 10 digits, then 10 bytes will be saved into the file, and so on. But if you want to save the number into the file as an integer, not as a string, then you need to save it in binary. First, you have to convert it into binary, and you know that for integers, they need 4 bytes into the memory. So for our student ID, the number 20103478, when it is converted into binary into 4 bytes, it will be equal to 0132C136 in hexadecimal. So it will be saved as 4 bytes, and that is applied to any number, regardless of the size of the number. As an example, suppose the number is 378, 3 digits. Again, it will be saved into the file using 4 bytes. And you need to convert this number into binary, which is equal to 00000178 in 4 bytes. So every integer you save it into the file will occupy 4 bytes, and this is different than if you want to save it as a string. After we finish writing the entire text file, in step 3, we need to close the file. It is similar to saving your file on your computer. Closing the file is in fact disconnecting the stream from the file. And this can be done by writing the name of the output stream, out file, followed by dot, followed by the method close. Now suppose you forgot to close the file by yourself by explicitly calling the method close. Then what happens? In fact, Java will close it for you when your program ends. And you might think that it is not important that you close it by yourself explicitly by calling the method close. But that is wrong and not safe. And I will tell you why. When you write data to a file, the data might not immediately reach its destination, which is the file. Closing an output stream forces any pending output to be written to the file. If you do not close the stream and your program terminates abnormally, Java might not be able to close it for you and data will be lost. Therefore, the sooner you close the file by calling the close method will guarantee that the data will not be lost and will be saved into the file. That's all what you have to do if you want to create a text file for output. First, you open the file for output using a print writer stream. Second, you write into the file. using the methods println and print of the output stream. Finally, you close the file by calling the method close of the output stream. Let us show you how to follow these 3 steps in a Java program in more details. After discussing in details the 3 steps required to create a text file, now is the time to put these 3 steps into action into a Java program. First, we will show you syntactically how to do that, and then we will give you an example. For opening the file, we need to declare an output stream variable of type printWriter and initialize it to null. This variable, we are going to use it as the name of the stream. So whenever we want to write into the file, or if we want to close the file, we use this variable. To open the file, we need to open it within a try and catch block. Inside the try, we create an object of type printWriter, and we supply the name of the file as an input parameter to the constructor. And in the catch statement, we catch the exception, find not found exception. If the file opening is successful, then the catch statement will be skipped, and then we go to step 2, writing into the file. However, if there is an exception raised due to an error occurred while creating the file, then we need to catch it inside the catch statement, and simply here we print a message, and here we should stop the program because there is no point to continue and we don't have a file to write into it. Notice that the output stream variable name is not declared inside the try block. We are declaring the variable before entering the try block and initialize it to null. And inside the try block, we are creating an output stream object of type printWriter, and its reference is assigned to the variable. And why we are doing that and not declare the variable inside the try block? Because if you do that, then it will be visible and used only inside the try block. And when you exit the try block and try to write into the file using this variable, the compiler will complain and will raise a syntax error telling you that the variable name is not found. Therefore, you must declare the output stream variable name outside the try and catch block rather than inside. After opening the file successfully, step 2, we write into the file. So we use the variable that we have defined for the output stream for writing into the file. So we write the name of the variable, followed by dot, followed by print or println, whichever method you want to use to write into the file. And you supply the text or the string that you want to write into the file as an input parameter to the println or print, similar to what we have done when we were printing on the screen using system.out output stream. After finishing writing into the file, step 3, you close the file by writing the name of the output stream, which is the variable of the output stream, followed by dot, followed by the method close. And this is how syntactically you open a file for writing as a text file, and step 2, you write into the file, and step 3, you close the file. A typical example showing you how to create a text file in Java. Suppose we would like to create an output file called datafile.txt. Datafile.txt is the name of the file that will appear on your computer when the file is created. Notice that we are given the file name, a variable called file name, as a string. And we did that because maybe we can extend the program and ask the user to enter the file name as an input and save it into file name. So first, we open the file for writing, and to do that, we declare the output stream variable and we initialize it to null, and this should be of type printWriter. And inside the try block, we create an output stream object of type printWriter and supply the file name as an input parameter to the constructor.